If you are over 60, the absolute worst thing you can do every single morning is lace up your sneakers and go for a long, exhausting walk. Top orthopedic surgeons are now warning that this single, universally recommended habit is silently accelerating severe knee joint degeneration and irreversible muscle wasting faster than almost anything else. You have been told your entire life that walking is the ultimate gold standard for staying fit, but for the aging body, it acts as a slow, repetitive hammer striking worn-down cartilage. When you force your legs to endure thousands of high-impact steps without building a stabilizing foundation first, you are not building strength at all. You are simply grinding away the remaining cushion that keeps you mobile, independent, and completely pain-free. The real danger is that walking completely bypasses the specific fast-twitch muscle fibers required to prevent devastating falls and maintain your balance as you age. This mainstream advice creates a dangerous illusion of health while your structural base slowly erodes beneath you. Instead of fortifying your lower body, hours of aimless strolling merely inflame your tendons and exhaust your lower back, leaving you highly vulnerable to sudden, life-changing injuries. Medical data reveals that seniors who rely solely on walking lose up to 3% of their functional leg power every single year after 60. To stop this hidden decay in its tracks, you must completely abandon the outdated notion that endurance equals strength and shift your focus entirely toward direct, low-impact muscle activation that protects your frame. Most seniors assume they are protecting their body by logging thousands of steps, but behind the scenes, a destructive biological process called muscle starvation is actively cutting off nutrient delivery to your quadriceps. Once you pass 60, your body completely stops naturally repairing these critical primary movers unless they are stimulated with precise resistance. Without this necessary trigger, your muscles begin to rapidly shrink, a clinical decline known as sarcopenia that acts like a slow leak in a tire. Your thighs become thin and weak, shifting the entire weight of your upper body directly onto your unprotected knee joints. This structural collapse happens entirely without your knowledge, manifesting initially as a mild morning stiffness before rapidly escalating into permanent, debilitating joint breakdown. Ignoring this progressive weakness leads directly to the sudden, catastrophic loss of mobility that forces thousands of active seniors into restrictive nursing homes every single year. The moment your leg power drops below a critical threshold, basic daily tasks like standing up from a low couch, climbing a short flight of stairs, or stepping off a curb become monumental hazards. A simple slip that you would have easily brushed off in your 50s turns into a devastating hip fracture that robs you of your independence forever. This is not just about feeling a little tired. It is an emergency that erodes your freedom day by day. If you continue to rely on long walks while your core leg stability is actively dying, you are essentially accelerating the exact day you will lose the ability to walk entirely. Fortunately, reversing this systemic decay doesn't require a gym membership, expensive physical therapy, or hours of grueling exercise that leave your body aching. In exactly 60 seconds, I am going to show you the simple 3-minute movement pattern that fixes this issue overnight by safely waking up dormant muscle groups. But before we cover the mechanics, you must understand exactly why standard mainstream solutions are actually making your joints worse and why your body rejects them. The secret lies in a profound anatomical loophole that allows you to rebuild dense, youthful muscle tissue without moving your bones a single inch or putting a pound of pressure on your cartilage. Once you unlock this hidden pathway, you will immediately feel a rush of stability return to your lower limbs. When you perform standard high-impact exercises like deep squats or forceful walks, you are actually placing immense unnatural stress on your vulnerable knee joints, effectively choking out essential blood flow. Think of it like bending a garden hose. The harder you push through a damaged joint, the less blood and oxygen can penetrate the tissue where it is desperately needed to heal. This constant friction creates localized inflammation, which triggers a protective neural shutdown that commands your brain to deactivate your leg muscles entirely to protect the bone. Therefore, the harder you try to exercise through the discomfort, the weaker your legs actually become. Breaking this vicious cycle requires a method that stimulates the muscle tissue without compressing the arthritic joint surfaces. This new medical breakthrough works by completely bypassing that destructive joint friction, instantly triggering deep cellular hypertrophy using nothing but your own body weight while sitting completely still. By utilizing isometric muscle contraction, you can force your quadriceps and glutes to work at maximum capacity without causing a single millimeter of movement in your knees. This isolated tension tricks your nervous system into sending a massive surge of nutrient-dense blood straight into the muscle belly, effectively feeding the starved tissue and forcing it to remodel. It allows an individual over 60 to accumulate the same muscle-building stimulus as a heavy weightlifter, but with absolutely zero risk of joint wear, ligament strain, or sudden balance-disrupting pain. Here is exactly how to execute these 3 movements right now. First, sit completely upright in any sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor, keeping your spine entirely straight and your shoulders relaxed. For movement 1, extend your right leg out straight in front of you until it is completely parallel to the ground, pulling your toes back toward your shin. Squeeze the top of your thigh as hard as you possibly can, imagining you are trying to crush a walnut between your knee and your hip. Hold this intense, isolated contraction for a full 10 seconds while breathing deeply through your nose. Lower the leg slowly under control, rest for 2 seconds, and repeat this sequence 5 times before switching to your left leg to complete the primary foundational activation phase. Now for movement 2, which targets your inner thigh and pelvic stabilizers to lock your balance in place. While remaining seated, place your feet together and press your knees firmly against each other. Take both of your fists and place them side by side directly between your knees, then squeeze your legs inward against your hands with maximum effort. You will immediately feel your inner thigh muscles tighten and your core engage as you maintain this heavy pressure for 10 seconds. This specific movement wakes up dormant nerve pathways that prevent your knees from buckling outward when you walk or climb stairs. Perform 5 repetitions of this deep squeeze, ensuring you do not hold your breath, allowing the blood to pump efficiently through your entire lower pelvic floor. Finally, movement 3 isolates your glutes and calves to build explosive power for getting up from chairs. Place your feet flat on the floor, shoulder-width apart, and lean your torso forward slightly while keeping your lower back perfectly flat. Press down through your heels as if you are about to stand up, but do not let your backside leave the seat, keeping your muscles in a state of suspended animation. At the exact same time, drive the balls of your feet into the floor to lift your heels slightly, engaging your lower legs completely. Hold this full-body tension for 10 seconds, feeling the burn build in your glutes, then release smoothly. Execute 5 total rounds of this ghost stand routine every morning before you let your feet touch the cold bedroom floor. Do this exact isometric routine tonight, and you will notice an immediate, undeniable difference in how light, strong, and incredibly stable your legs feel before you even take your very first sip of morning coffee tomorrow. By forcing these dormant muscle fibers to wake up while you rest, you are actively building an impenetrable armor of protection around your joints that traditional walking could never provide. Your personal independence is your absolute most valuable asset. Do not let a lack of proper structural stimulation strip your freedom away from you. Take 3 minutes right now to invest in your physical future, and then immediately share this video with someone you love who deserves to stay strong, highly mobile, and completely free from the terrifying fear of physical decline.